Right, everybody, welcome to the streets of Monte Carlo, one of the most iconic street circuits there is on the Formula 1 calendar, one of the most difficult tracks. I will quickly, because I'm hearing myself double, and no, I'm not. So, yeah, guys, welcome to the last social race of this beautiful Friday evening. And today we're in one of the most difficult tracks there is on the Formula 1 calendar. As I previously said, it is Monaco, baby. And luckily, in the nighttime, as the first drivers going out for the first couple laps, a lot of team members pulling the cars in the right direction, as probably one of the Audis will be the first one to go on their out laps. It's late for me, so apologies if my commentary will be a little bit softer, because I'm still living with my parents, and if they're sleeping I have to keep my voice down. It's not that great for them if I start shouting like, yeah, not the best person. But yeah, we have Dougie out on the first lap, rocking the number 77. It's actually quite strange in my opinion, since actually I thought Bottas took that number back, but I think the game forgot to change that. Certain drivers came back to the sport or changed the numbers, so you can still use certain numbers. Anyway, Monaco, of course, one of the most difficult tracks on the Formula 1 calendar, and if you know it, it's one of the most satisfying tracks. But for racing, it is going to be a bore fest, if I'm going to be honest. But people will make mistakes, so expect a lot of safety cars, a lot of yellow flags, and a lot of DNFs if the drivers are pushing way too hard. I've recently commentated, I think, one Monaco Grand Prix in my past. It was quite a blast to commentate. A lot of strategy involved in the race, and a surprising winner took home the victory. And yeah, and track limits will be difficult in Monaco. Turn 1 and of course the swimming pool chicane and of course the Nilva chicane will be difficult to keep the car in track, but you have to push on the limit, as the Audi will be the first one to settle lap, but a lot on the curb though. So I think the Audi maybe, yeah, he will go for a first lap around Monte Carlo. Down into turn 1 we go, cut the inside curb nicely, back on the power and full throttle uphill to one of the, yeah, it is such a beautiful track though, it's so iconic. But yeah, the racing here can be a little bit of a snooze fest in the past, but this track has produced some great races. When the rain drops here, it's gonna be also so chaotic, but sadly there's no rain today. But if there was rain, then I would have loved to be the commentator as well. But right now I'm also commentator, and I would also love to be here still. As the Audi going downhill in sector 2, in the tunnel we go. And quickly going around the board with that beautiful Audi engine roaring in the back of the car. And brake around to 100 meters, 150, lifting coast. Try not to hit the inside wall, try not to invalid on the inside of the apex. And back on the throttle you go to one of the most tricky and shorter sections of the racetrack. He is taking it safe, which I totally agree with. Get a lap in first, so if other people DNF, you at least are in front of them. But right now to the final corners they go. And he doesn't pull Michael Schumacher. And now to the final corner we go. He actually takes it quite nicely, but he used not enough battery. But down the line we go with the Audi driver. It will be a 1:13.0, and I think some drivers will improve from that lap time. See also in the Haas now crossing the line, starting his lap, and I think that is Robin. Also a fellow Dutchman, so I will be rooting for my fellow Dutchies, of course. So my apologies if I'm a little bit biased, as Kevin already goes 1 second faster, also a fellow Dutchman. Well done, Kevin, with that lap. I have not seen it on board, so my apologies. Anyway, today, yeah, it's actually Jay gets a 5-plate grid penalty colliding with somebody. I did not actually see who it was. I quickly looked on my phone to grab the TikTok chat. So yeah. Anyway, hi guys, welcome to the stream. It's a little bit late, but for those who are still in here, welcome. As Ramen got the chicane way too much and he keeps it. Whew. But actually, Dave goes fastest. One of a guy I'm actually pretty close with in the Discord community and F1 Leaguers community. So I'm actually quite happy to see him also improve a lot. So shout out to Dave. It's Kevin probably going maybe for a second lap, but yeah. This was the McLaren of Ursa in 1/16s, and also he goes also in the 1/16s. But yeah, expect a lot of time difference. Couldn't find the right word for it, but I think a lot of people will struggle. And Monaco, without practice, without even anything, as Dougie is sliding through turn 1. It's impressive that he kept that car out of the wall, knowing how much even real life drivers struggle with turn 1. And yeah, it's just gonna be so close to the walls. You have to know everything, nail your braking points, and yeah, oh, hitting the inside wall there, yeah, that's also dangerous. Turning in too early, hitting the inside wall. I've done it myself a lot of times. So yeah, again, we're gonna ride on board with the Audi driver downhill. I'm actually gonna quickly pull up a little track map for me, so it's easier for me as Viper. Nipper actually goes fast with 111.0, so I think we're gonna be in the 110s. And Stucky really nicely cuts the chicane. And now to the swim pool section we go. A little bit of slide on the rear. You can see the back end want to step out. He keeps it clean though, and a little bit you could take it more in its car, but he's taking it safely down to the last corners. As I'm trying to watch on board, but it goes a little bit deep though in the final corner, so that will not help his line through the. He used a lot more battery, so I think it will be it will be a 510 improvement that he will go deep, so he can let the Haas driver behind him through. So I think no, that was Jacob goes to P2 actually, and I think and we see Kevin with a 110.1, a very quick lap for Kevin. Already almost, I think we're even gonna push to the 19s. So that's a great lap for Kevin already in the 110s. And yeah, and I think Kevin said there was also a very quick driver as well. As there's actually, was the front wing there on the ground from somebody I know. But to be fair, knowing this track, a lot of front wings are gonna get off the cars. So, we'll see also, yeah, Nipper. I think starting his lap now, but he has a lot of track to deal with, and I hope they get out of the way. They deal nicely, the Audi and the V-Carb, of course. As Nipper down to the hill, going to the slowest corner of the F1 calendar, the Monaco hairpin. So I'm quickly gonna grab if I have. Yep, I have a little bit of a track map. Oh, it doesn't show the corner, but it does show the corners, but not the corner numbers. So yeah, my apologies if I butcher the names as well and the corner names. But Nipper actually took the chicane pretty nicely, and I think it will be a big improvement for the driver. I've not personally not raced Monaco on this version of cars. And as Nipper goes purple sec 2 a lot on the inside curb, and he is looking for a great improvement down to the final couple corners go. The source went cleanly, and now I am not doing this real quick. And he takes out a lot of boards, but across the line it is a 510 improvement, but still 3 tenths behind Kevin. So Kevin is still the man to beat. It's also, yeah, 9 drivers have not settled. No, actually, 8 drivers have not settled out, and we don't have a full grid today. But still, 90 drivers is plenty of fun for this track. So I'm quickly going to look who is on the lap. It looks, yeah, Jack has a validate, so Luis is also on the lap, but it's in the first sector. Dave is also in the first sector. As Jacob goes purple and is 4 tenths down on his delta, across the curb he goes, and now to Lasors, don't do a Michael Schumacher, and he does a Michael Schumacher, almost goes way too deep, and he's sliding angry off the throttle, and he's doing a Max Verstappen. But I think for Jacob that he will lost a lot of time probably, yeah. He lost all his time in that final sector, so he will pit and probably will go again, I assume. Kevin is also out again for another lap. As Stu is just waiting for other drivers to get past. He's in neutral, so I don't know why he's revving the car. So, yeah. Anyway, only 7 people joined in for the stream again. That's completely fine. At this hour, I completely agree. But, Alec is one of the Ferrari drivers will cook you, and he actually hits the inside wall. He's lucky his suspension did not break there. Going down to the tabak and the swimming pool section, I will just call it for now. But he invalidates it. Oh yeah, that's not the best of him. Well, the Ferrari drivers. It's actually Kian retires from the session, and Kian has actually crashed in front of Kevin, and I don't know if he was on a lap, but Kian hit the inside wall in the Nouvelle Chicane, a move we've also familiar with in league racing on the F1 games. We've all done it plenty of times, especially in times where you're just trying to nail that perfect lap and you just turn it too quickly and then bop. it's all over now, but we'll quickly watch our board with Kevin, a fellow Dutchie himself in the Alpine. Down turn 1 to go. Just break out the 50 meters, try to get a car turn and keep it in third gear. A little bit of lag though on board. Might be just my Wi-Fi, but keep the battery on. Uphill to the casino corner, and now turn in lights. You don't hit the inside wall. Go a little bit wide, but don't slide. Again, try to keep it so close to the walls. It's so difficult. Kevin, purple sector 1, try to get a little bit of rotation with the flick. Keeps in second gear. I've not seen many drivers do that. I personally like to do it in first gear, but probably explains why I'm so slow compared to other drivers. Hello Jesse, welcome in the stream, buddy. So, and by the way, sorry, my apologies if I'm not that quick with that TikTok chat. I'm mostly focused on commentating, but Kevin doing this very nicely. And it looks like the Alpine driver is going to set another great lap, but goes a little bit wide though in the super section. But he's 2 tenths down, so maybe we're going to go in the 1.9s. Kevin pushing that Alpine to his max, and it's looking like he is actually going to nail this lap. And now to the final corners we go. It goes a little bit deep on board for me. He's lagging so much, but Kevin does improve with a 1.909. So that will be the new benchmark to beat, and the 6 tenths clear of Robin. So we'll have a lot of work to do, and Robin validated. As Jacob is on on an out lap. Is there any other drivers on the lap? I think Luis is actually on the lap, and he's 6 tenths down. So I think if he keeps it up, it will be in the 1.11s, maybe even the 1.10s, if he has a great final sector. But right now, and he actually takes the corner pretty nicely. And Luis, what will he do? And across the line he will go for a P4 11.0, almost in the 1.10s. So great job to him. And there's also another Luis. But he found it in turn 1. It's one of the McLarens, one of the Red Bulls. Butcha pitting the car as Josh actually going really deep. We've also another retirement with being Haas, and Jack also, I think this will be his first Vanna lap time. The T10 driver across the line, also in the 110s. 110.8 is Potsim provisional P4. And there's a front wing there actually on the track. I don't know what that is. Looks like a front wing. And a despawned. Yeah. Something I really want to have in this game is a great damage model, like a better damage model. Like, I mean, with a lot of also car companies also really don't want to see their cars wreck that badly, so that's why a lot of like racing games don't have a great damage model. But for F1, we've seen this car wrecked so many times before. Not gonna go, I don't say it's good that they wreck, I'm just saying that. But I feel like if you hit a wall, then the suspension should break or something like that. Like what happens in real life. Oh, as Jack actually, I don't know if that's allowed, mate. So you have to, it's full on stream, so be careful with that. But yeah, as the only driver who has not set lap is one probably of Alec Alcarder, and he's still in the pit lane. As Kevin is still, I think he will just, yeah, also not being very nice. It's very naughty of them. As Niper is going to go again for another lap. We have 5 minutes left in this qualifying session, so it will be interesting to see what will happen. So a lot of people say, of course, Monaco qualifying, most exciting thing there is, the race, Snow is fast. But I gotta say, the Monaco GP this year was actually pretty exciting. Maybe because the FIA kind of screwed up a little bit with the timing and a lot of penalties were handed out. And of course, Kimi Antonelli actually taking home a beautiful victory around the seats of Monte Carlo in the second outing in the Monaco GP as Niper goes purple sector 1. But we don't know if that's true, because the game is known for giving out false information. But yeah, I do like this track. It's kind of historic. Of course, the racing is not that lovely. Again, hitting the inside wall is on the limit. The Aston Martin, that's what we love to see in league racing. Of course, just on the limit, hitting the walls, but not enough to crash the car in real life. Of course, if you hit the wall, then you will probably be cooked and sent to the barrier. But Niper does have a lot of traffic ahead of him, and there the Red Bull actually, and Niper goes into the pit lane, and Jacob gets a 10th. It's 5 grades colliding with the McLaren. I think that was Benny. Yeah, was it Benny? I think it was, but that's not. Or was it? No, it was actually. No, I think it was. Yes, sir. Zico would get a 5 grades grid pen colliding with Kevin. And I think Kevin will also not be happy with that one, but I will just quickly look in the racetrack to see who has yeah, there's a lot. Yeah, we see a couple drivers that have grip ends with Jacob and Digos having both won. And I think, yeah, Raming got a warning for speeding in the pit lane, but that doesn't really matter. And a couple other, I think somebody else got a grip pen. Yeah, that will be Jack. So, yeah, actually, it is difficult to keep out of the way on this track. I will admit that, especially if you're not paying attention for a quick second. Cars can come out of nowhere, and you have to be careful because the track is really small, of course. It's great that the cars are smaller. It really helps with the racing, in my opinion. And yeah, but the battery is still a thing I just don't like. But I'm glad that the FIA have stepped in, and I think the cars will be returning to the old engine patterns. So that will be very good that they did that, because after Spa, that was a disaster class. And we have to realize that a lot of long straights are still coming. We have Monza, Baku, Vegas. I think Kota will also be a shout, that it will be difficult with the long back straight, even though you can recharge actually a lot in the Sector 3. Especially on this game, you can do that. I mean, I did some Kota practice earlier today, if anyone's interested in that. And I was at like 10-20% when I went on the back straight, long straight, before you're going to Sector 3. And I just recharged back to 100% battery. I don't know if it was my setup or anything, but it's actually quite nice to know that after long straight you can just full on turn off the battery and just recharge again to 100, which actually helps racing, I think, a lot around Kota, as Robin is improving a lot on the curbs though, but hitting the walls. And now to Las Torres we go, and he keeps it clean. A little bit of contact with the outside wall, but this corner goes cleanly. And now on board with the Haas driver, looking to take pole away from his fellow Dutchman, and he cannot do it. He's still missing 4/10s, and I think Kevin will just be sitting there, enjoying that he still has provisional pole. But I think some drivers are getting closer, because the times are getting faster and faster. Only 2 drivers who have DNF'd from this. Yes, I think you can just there's a little channels in the Discord server where there are social races, and I think you're gonna need to join via the website they have, MOR website, and then when you're in the Discord, then there are just social races that you can join. So if you have any further questions, you can always ask Jack or any of the admins in the comments below of their TikToks. Anyway, Kevin still on the south lap. A lot of other drivers are, but I think personally I will watch him with the Alpine number 91 on the back of the car and on the front of the car. And we'll watch him with Kevin. Will he get in the one? If he gets a 9-1, that will be perfect for me. But 8/10s, I don't even know if that's possible. On the previous game, the previous 2 games, I think it was possible to set a 0.8 around this track. But on this game, I don't know if it is, because I have not seen anyone do this track competitively at all. But Kevin is half a 10 down on his time in the first sector, and I think this will be a rocket ship lap of the Dutchman, of course. He was already proved himself that he has rapid pace, and now qualifying is over and all the drivers have to do it up. Jack has retired, will be P7, Luis into P6, and Dave in P8 with a 10.8, and Benny with a 12.6, and then we have also Donna McLaren with a 30.8. Their qualifying was done, and Kevin is pushing the car to the limit, hits the Waldo on the exit, so he has to pull in the Mego final sector for Verstappen like final sector in order to maybe get improvement. He's lost 1/10 in the second sector. Rhino up the curbs and he's riding to La Source, and I think, yeah, he's still going on. It looked like he boarded, but he hasn't hit a lot of walls, but in the inside he takes it nicely, but a little bit too much, and that lap is over for Kevin. And this guy's front wing gone, and Kevin will not improve, as Ramen also does not improve here, board this lap. And Viper also big crash though, oh my goodness me. And Sniper went actually airborne there, as his teammate is in P4 and also crashed out. Blake is stuck in La Source. Did a Michael Schumacher situation here, but a lot of drivers have fighted. Jacob has also validated. So Kevin will be the man on pole position, number 91 on the car, and barely a front wing left. But Kevin will start your Monaco GP from pole position. And that was a very chaotic end, with also an Aston Martin taking flying lessons. Aston Martin Airlines people. As yeah, also Qatar Airways is the main sponsor of F1, but I think Aston Martin gonna be the new airway sponsors for Formula 1. But anyway, I will see y'all back in a minute for the information lab of the Monaco GP. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I also just heard from Kevin that he got blocked by the Mercedes and was actually looking for 9.5. So that is too bad for him, but he still got the lap done and still got pole position as we're looking on to go for 39 laps around the streets of Monte Carlo. Yeah. Let's go. We are ready to go racing when the drivers pick their laps. So a lot of people are complaining about the Oh, we are. I don't want to see the strategies yet, but anyway, we'll see the strategy here. The game says hard, medium, medium. I do not trust it at all. I think a lot of people will be driving on starting on the mediums, as somebody got already get disqualified from not going off the line too quickly. Kian, I am rooting for you, man. I hope you can have a great race, and please avoid all the drivers and chaos in front of you. As it's actually pretty interesting, because a lot of the top teams are actually down at the bottom. Mercedes last, and then whatever Adam Williams. There's no beef to anyone, but it's kind of funny to see it's like almost a reverse grid. Anyway, we are actually got a lot of interest stories. There's actually one of the Aston Martins. HR is actually disqualified due to probably maybe hitting another driver on the rear or something like that, or maybe just doing something that's not allowed in the rule book. Kevin actually, but what is one of the Red Bulls doing? I don't know if it's that Butcher. No, it's not Butcher. It's actually Jacob, but Jacob got disqualified. But they actually took out Kevin, and I don't know what happened there. But I literally saw it a little bit on stream. But I think Jacob will get something for that. Because that's really not allowed, and I think Kevin will be livid, because also a lot of complaints about the Red Bull driver, so I will see what the owners will do with that. But at the moment, as the rest of the grid are parking up, but Kevin will have a hard time to defend due to being almost 1.5 meters back on this grid slot. But of course being disqualified is Dave parting up, of course, one of my mates, so I will also be rooting for him, but I will not try to glaze him that much. Although he's a nice dude, so give him the credit he deserves as both. V-Carps out trying to as D goes, and we are ready to go racing in Monte Carlo. All the cars are set up and we're waiting for the green flags to be waved and the lights to go out. That's actually who still has to park up? I think so. Yeah, it is Jack. As the 5 red lights are on for turnout laps around Monte Carlo. And it's lights out and away we go. One of the Williams does not get away well, but Kevin keeps his place cool and takes the lead. Still has the lead, but there's a lot of ghosting. So I hope that will quickly fade away, because it's just not fun when people are overtaking each other in the ghost mode. As Kevin still leads with Robin right on the tail, but they're ghosting into each other. Please let it stop game. And it looks like Robin still, they're all invading each other, but there goes Yeah, there goes one of the sniper spinning around after turn number 4, and that's so unfortunate for him. The bump there is very scary as one of the V-Cups goes inside, and that's Blake, I think. Blake trying to get a move on his teammates, and also one of the hash riders with a make contact, but not a great start for one of the Aston Martins. Drop back down to where is P9 still, but Kevin still leads, but Ramen is right on the still. Is he going to go for the dive bomb in the inside of the Nouvelle Chicane? And right now, ooh, no, as Kian actually has left the session. I don't know if that's with a disconnect or anything else with that. I think it has. But right now, Robin and Kevin still leading us. We have a yellow flag in the background, and that's one of the V-Carbs actually. Now, yeah, I don't know where it is. Oh, there, right there. Poor. That is a nasty accident there for one of the V-Cars. Kevin is still leading the way. And now down to the main strip we go into turn 1. There's also no active arrow on this track. So the wings will stay close as Kevin will, of course, away with the fast lap after GPS. Also, Jack has a 3 second or maybe a 10 second or 5 second for avoiding a collision, but also Robin down the inside of Kevin in going to the Skino, and that's actually a very beautiful. Now Kevin is the inside line. These two are racing hard against each other. Both are fellow Dutchmen, and this is a beautiful fight. If people can race, great. There's a great wheel-to-wheel battle, but Kevin looking, trying to block the inside of Robin. It's Dave. Oh no, Dave has retired. Where is that? And I don't know where that is. As also one of the McLaren does not have a front wing anymore, but we're still looking for that with Roman has dropped back a lot actually. So we're just quickly gonna watch him, but sadly for Dave, it is not the weekend he has hoped for. As Louise also looking on the back of KR. A fellow Aston Martin is also yellow in sector 2. I don't know who that is. We're quickly gonna look. It's yeah, the McLarens are struggling both very dearly, but I don't know if I have Keen added as a friend. Otherwise, I will invite him back. Yeah, I don't know. If I have you as a friend, mate, I'm quickly going to check. Yeah, sorry, mate. I invite you back. I hope you have a great race. As Luis takes fast lap for 1:30.5. But yeah, Kevin still leading the way as both McLarens actually switch plates, but one of them goes in the pit lane. Oh, yeah, with Josef. I don't know if he's gonna retire or change his front wing. I hope you're able to join back, mate. I actually need to quickly put my phone into the charger, so I will quickly be doing that. I will be right back with you. Ladies and gentlemen, I am back. Sorry for that little delay, but Kevin pushing on fastest in the middle sector. And it looks like he's keeping his cool, even though Robin had made a beautiful attempt to overtake him. As Doug gets a 3-second time for multiple track limits, and expect that a lot around this track. I'm not gonna be lying, but it's really difficult to keep the car between the white lines if you're pushing. As Kevin again with the fast lap, 2 tenths quicker than previously, and is looking to push out of that 1 second of Robin, so he does not have the overtake mode available. Looks like Robin is actually front threat from the Aston Martin, and Robin is struggling and go down the inside, but it does not go good for the Aston Martin. I don't know what that camera angle was from the game there. I tried to look off board, but yeah, just gonna look on board for a minute. As HR is looking for the pass on Robin, and Robin is struggling massively on the styles. Maybe on the inside of the chicane. Doesn't look like it. An hairpin, I should say. Sorry. And there's an Aston Martin stuck in sector 1, and it's Sniper again. Not a great race start he would have wanted. Still yellow flags, but we are still watching this battle unfold. Will he go for the inside line? As Robin actually locks his rear, loses in the rear. And Robin gets a 3-second time penalty already. Not a great start for Robin, as Kevin is pushing out of that 1 second mark, and I think he will cruise away with the victory unless something happens, as Blake is on the rear. Jack actually, as Butcha with the soft tire actually made up quite a lot of plays, I believe. As Sniper gets a 10-second for corner cutting, as Sniper is right over there. I think he locked up maybe. He doesn't have any front wing, so there's a good chance he locked up into the Nouvelle chicane and then just went straight on, and the game gives you a penalty for that. So yeah, but does not look like he is following by the rules and actually rear bumping the Audi, and there's a roadblock in with Jacob, Number, and Dougie. As Jacob goes in the pit lane, I don't know what Sniper is doing. He continues on actually. I don't know what strategy there is, but Dougie goes into the pit lane. And I think a lot of Kevin already is 3 seconds ahead of Robin, but I missed as Naples actually retires. But I think this will be looked into because this is a very weird place to retire. If you can see on the minimap, it was down to turn 1. Luis leaves the session. I don't know if this is due to a disconnect or anything like that, like anything else. Oh, he's actually retired himself, the V-Cup driver. As Robin has a 10-second time for getting a collision with the Aston Martin. As I think it's a VSC at the moment. It would be nice if we just had a beautiful sign, but Robin has massive front wing damage. I just see. What on earth happened there? It's not looking great for Robin. He was second and leading the race for a little bit, but right now front wing damage has completely ruined him. Yeah, he will go into the pit lane, and yeah, that will be back to on the hards, and hopefully he will have a better second stint. But Kevin is just out front, and I think we'll just walk away within the park, and I think it will be will be the fight for P2 as Digo gets a drive for speeding under the safety car, but we're uphill now into the casino square, and looks like Luis is trying to go out outside of the Aston Martin, but now has the inside line, and Jack is looking also for a fight there, and the V-Cup also, they're going 3 wide into this corner, and it looks like yeah, Blake has the inside as Jack falling back to P5 as Luis gets to P3, and Jack is the loser on that fight, dropping back 2 places, and that was a beautiful fight we saw. But Jack still has a penalty. I'm just gonna quickly look what the penalties are. It's a 3-second time penalty. She also has to drive to, probably speeding on the VSC. Sniper has left the session as well, not the race he would have wanted, but that crash will be, I think, investigated by the officials, but he has to send in a POV. So I wish him the best of luck with that. And yeah, Kevin is just cruising away. It's already 6 seconds. And no, I'm not gonna say the word. So you can screw off. I'm not going to say it. If I accidentally say it, I am pretty gonna be as upset with myself with saying the forbidden number. I know Jack is obsessed with saying it, which we saw. I think it was in the yeah, in the 12 AM social race. So yeah. Anyway. 12 PM I should say, by the way. So he also gets another 3-second time for cutting the chicane, probably down into yeah, in the Neville chicane. As this is actually a beautiful camera, and you close up to the cars. This track really gives them some beautiful shots of the camera, but I think, yeah, also something I would really love to see more in the F1 games is laser scan tracks. Of course, we have 5 already, with that being, I think, Australia, Bahrain, great track by the way. I really love that they did that. I already said Australia, Miami, Japan, and I think there was one more. Yeah, Imola, of course. Sadly, we won't have Imola again with the 27 cars, which is quite a sad track to see go. Another historic track, of course. Sadly, not the most fun race in the past, if we're looking at that. May they all rest in peace. But Imola is such a historic track, and sadly they are getting rid of it for another street circuit in Madrid. And we've already seen in this game that Madrid is fun for qualifying, but it will be not fun for racing. And the main issue with that is it's just no great straight line and overtaking opportunities. Of course, with these cars, you could probably, oh, yellow sector 1, there is an car stuck in the barriers, and I think that is, yeah, Haas. And race control has, I think, put out the VSC. I don't see a safety car going on. And again, we have another VSC as Kevin just pulling away with it. It's already 10 seconds. So I think he will just actually grab his pillow and will actually just take a short nap. And then we'll come back to the race. But he has a little lot on the delta. So I think he had a lot of delta too. Well, there's actually a pretty nice fight going on for P2. So we'll definitely keep an eye on that. As Justin gets another drive to, as we see actually Stowe going to the intermediate. So I think, yeah, this is, mate, this is not esports. You're not testing a setup, not doing anything. So please just get rid of those inters, and there will be no consequences. I think that also would be the most fun for me as a commentator, and also other drivers, unless, yeah, you really want to. But yeah, it's not the smartest thing to do. So I wish you best of luck with that, mate. But as you're actually not having a great race at all, getting a lot of corner cut, a lot of penalties, and I'm actually just going to ignore that as we just going to quickly look at the positions. A lot of people has gained a lot of has actually from P17. As oh, there's contact there. What on earth happened there? Jacob and Doggy making contact under the VSC. And what happened there? And Doggy gets it also drive through for speeding under the safety car. I don't know what's happening here. Monaco at night is basically chaos at night. As we hear the pit stops going off in the background with Hayes and going in for pit stops, and I think has had front wing damage as Robin moves up a couple places again with that drastic. As Kian actually, well done, mate. You're actually back in the points. Great job, mate. It has to be said, as we're back under racing speed again, with also Benny gaining 6 places. Jack, after getting his penalty, also gained 6 places. So great job to him. As also D goes. Yeah, a lot of drivers making up places with the chaotic such as Sniper, Dave, and Luis lost a lot of places, with also Robin being one of the further candidates. As actually, I think Kevin with one other driver is, Kevin is the only one that has not lost any positions on the start. So great job to Kevin. Of course, he is a rapid driver, but we'll quickly watch with this fight in for P2 as yours is disqualified from the session. And I have a gut feeling it might have to do with the drive twos he got. But to be fair, if there's a lot, no worries, Fries. It was nice to have you in the stream, mate. I hope you have a good nice night rest, and I hope you have a great day. As I don't know what's there's one of the McLarens making way. Is it? Yeah, I think that is the disqualified car of Jooster. So I hope it did not cause any drama. So we're looking here as Butcher on the back of Kian. There's a lot of wheel spin though on those hard tires. Trying to get into grip, the Red Bull car, as of course sadly a Red Bull did not make it very far in the real life race with Verstappen. Of course, DNF gonna start, not having a great start, but Hajar actually had a great race. But on the inside he goes and he locks up and straight into the barrier he goes. Butcher made a desperate overtake, he went for it, but it did not pay out. He locked his front wheels, and now that front wing, both end plates are gone, and he would have to go back to the pits. Kian is lucky that he did not get taken out in the process, as Robin gets the little place back, and he will say thank you very much for that. As right now we're also gonna watch back as Jack's lying there with the wrist. But I'm actually interested, when will the drivers pit? Because I know the tire wear is actually horrendous on this game for some tracks, and that you have to do a 2-stop at some time because it's just impossible to do a 1-stop, or you could do it, but tire wear is just massively not in your favor. I remember that one also questions of Formation Lab. Was kind of fun. I think, how many times has Lance actually been into the wall on a Formation Lab or on an in-lap of the race? It's actually quite impressive. Also in qualifying in Melbourne, I remember when he made contact with the TV. I mean, Stroll, don't get me wrong, like what he does for a living, none of us can do that. Driving a race car at over 300 miles per hour, and that's impressive. You can say what you want. Of course, how he got into the sport is controversial, but some other drivers also have the same history, but they're not looked at enough, with also Sergio Perez being also one of them. But we don't talk a lot about him. But yeah. But of course, there's also a lot. But Perez actually proved himself into Formula 1 a lot better. As we see the first car with Luis diving the pit lane. And I think that will be the hard tires for the Williams driver. Actually, I quite enjoy the camera settings for my Williams. You're probably wondering why the camera setting is like this. I use TV pod offset as my main camera settings for the game. So my main camera settings will also be the cameras you're seeing on Twitch when I'm riding on board with the car. So, yeah. So if you have any question about that, let me know. And I also, I kind of like them. The only thing I kind of dislike with my camera set is that you can see the front wing of the car a lot more. Like some cars, like the Haas car, they're pretty clean. The McLaren is also pretty nice. I love the Mercedes car. Peak, Red Bull. It's just peak. It's just one of the best cars on damn grid, and I love the engine. I was really scared that EA will not have great sounds with the engines. Butcher actually continues on with the broken front wing, so respect to that. So Jacob goes faster 130.3, beats Kevin's lap for the first, I think it was like the third lap he put it in, but I think Jacob is on fresh medium tires down in P13, so he will actually not get an extra point for that. Even though I don't know if this league actually does the extra point system. I know a lot of leagues still do it, but a lot of leagues also do it like in a way where it's fair. So not like teammate pitting and like. I think the leagues I have mentioned have been in a lot of times it's just the top 10 gets the extra points. Sometimes maybe it's the top 15 if like the points rate is goes through there. Anyway, if anyone also has any questions, let me know, because of course it's Monaco, so it's not the most entertaining track. So, but actually, HR actually pulled out of the overtake button for Blake, so he will have a lot of work to do. Jack also has lost a lot of ground to Louise. I think he actually made a mistake, because I've not been paying attention enough, so my apologies for that. I've missed a lot of stuff. But yeah, the chat's pretty dry today, but I don't blame it. It's almost, for a lot of countries, it's almost midnight. It's literally 18 minutes for me, and it will be midnight, and I still have more than halfway of this race to commentate, so that will be fun. But yeah, I hope you all have enjoyed your day, and also enjoyed the racing that has been today. Also very chaotic race start, so I will admit that. Also, yeah, still quite fun. But that's the thing with Monaco. It can be fun, it can be interesting. But it needs to also have some excitement in the race. So we have a yellow flag at sector 2, and I think, who is that? It looks really weird, but it does look like, it seems like it is anything at all. As Ghost fight we have currently on track is Boccia with the Ferrari of Alec. I'm very sorry, but wait, has Boccia? No, I thought Boccia disconnected Ghost there for a second, but yeah, Boccia actually has more front wing damage now on the car, so that will be again difficult for him to swallow, and yeah, that Rebel will be difficult to drive. But luckily for him, as we see Kian with Haas, and Kian gets the overtake down, but Haas is looking for the overtake, but he so loses traction. Probably hit the ERS button way too soon, and that will not help him out into his hunt for that P8 of the Mercedes, as Kian does a great job holding up I almost said McLaren. I don't know why I keep saying McLaren for the Williams, it's actually kind of strange, but with the Williams car. And Benny also looking very steady in P7, but he has to watch out for Kian, who is, I think, gaining a little bit on time on him. As Robin, yeah, not having a great start. Also having, I think, I'm just going to check the time penalties. And the time penalties are, yeah, a lot of people are in the 3 seconds. I think, yeah, we have Jack in the 6 seconds, and also Jacob in the 6 seconds, with Doggy having 13, and Stu having also 6 seconds. Spacha, I think, also joins the 6 second club. So we're just quickly going to look at the tire range. We see Kevin and KR still on the mediums, but Kevin does not have to worry about anything. I think if he will pit, he will drop back a little bit, and I think he will be behind HR if he actually drops back, keeps that in the car in the 17 seconds, because I think a pit stop around like 18 to 20 seconds. But yeah, Kevin does have some overtakes, so that will be lovely for him. I think he's lapping Jacob. Want a few red? Yeah, it's Jacob. As we also see Dougie behind Kevin, so Kevin putting up the numbers and putting in some great pace here. Blake also looking to close that gap to Jack, but he has to make sure that he does not get a 3 second, otherwise we will have to overtake him. He is still in that 3 second range, as we have a yellow flag at sector 2, and I think that's a Ferrari. And it was a Red Bull. It was Boccia again, going deep, and I throw, and the front wing is completely gone. So Boccia will probably go into the pit lane, because this will not be the best thing. Just go to the mediums or go to the hard tire, mates. Spit for the mediums and then go to the hard tires again, because that front wing will not make you last the end of the race. As D-Ghost gets a 3 second time for track limits. I hope we still get to see a beautiful battle for the podium, or even just a beautiful battle in general, because at the moment it is kind of a snooze fest, as yeah, Jacob and Butcher are fighting each other. So also I think that is no, is that who? No, yes, we have Butcher retired, and it looks like he had contact with the barrier going into the swimming pool section into sector 3. And yeah, it doesn't look great for him, and that race is over for him. We already have 4 DNS, and if that will be number 5 as Dougie goes into the pit. I don't know if he has damaged his front wing or the tires are just completely ruined, but yeah, Dougie will go into the pit lane, probably also serve his 10-second time penalty, as Kevin is still leading the way, as I think there's Jacob still behind him, just trying to push on. It's something I also don't like a lot. Like a lot of people that are lapped will just keep pushing, and the ghosting inside of you can be really annoying. I have experienced it a lot. This captain actually goes a little bit deep into the hairpin. He's done that a lot of times. Keeping it second gear, not going into first. But yeah. I mean, Kevin is a quick driver. You could say all you want about him. He is rapid. And I have my respect for him, of course. I've raced with him actually a bunch of times back in the days of 24 when he actually was in my own league. So it was actually pretty fun to have him there for a couple of races. But of course, with this game, it's actually pretty difficult to find us. But WRC, or I should say MOR, is doing pretty good. Hey Raf, and hey all, welcome back guys, as we see Kevin is the first of the top 2 to dive into the pit lane and way be ahead of his rival. That's the most important question, or will just KR will dive to the pit lane himself, because I think he will not be ahead of Kevin. Kevin already looking the Alpine pit crew have to do a lot. Pit the hard tires, it is a beautiful stop, and out he goes. Of course, Alpine being the last constructor I think in the previous year, with just their focus completely being on this year's car, and they have succeeded with that, I might say. I mean, they were fighting for pretty good positions. As also KR goes into pit lane. Luis overtakes him and claims that second place back again from the Aston Martin driver. Yellow flag, and who is that? And that was Haas actually, and he's missing the left front wing plate. Oh, and that goes to right. Not the best way to go into the pits if you want to go, but Haas hitting Popers and locks up massively into La Source, and that will not help the Williams driver, and I think he would just go and bail into the pit lane and maybe even retire, and he actually loses it again. Mate, keep it on track and all will be good, and he takes out the 60-meter board, so all drivers will get a 10-second time penalty just like in real life. So let's pray that will not happen, of course. And if that happened again, then of course the time penalties will be revoked. Of course, what happened to Pierre Gasly in Monaco would actually all been taken home again a podium in Monte Carlo. They did it in 23. So congrats, of course, to the Alpine in real life with the podium of Pierre Gasly. A Frenchman taking over a Frenchman podium as Kevin overtakes, I think that has. So he has now lapped from P11 to P14. He's lapped already. Is there any fight? There is certainly a fight going on for P3, and this is a beautiful fight. We're seeing as KR has the fresher tires and is looking to get past Jack, but will it be done into turn 1? We're riding aboard. Please don't do it for Verstappen, and Maldonado as we're going. He's going for the outside, but Jack defensive nicely and looking for the overtake. HR is still looking for it, but Blake is on the rear of that Aston Martin going uphill into the casino section of the track. Now looking for again a move, but will he go for the inside into the hard braking? He's not alongside, but he will go for the outside line. The drivers leave each other's space, and now he has the inside line for the hairpin, but I keep sorry, but Jack keeps defending it very beautifully, and now around the outside he's still trying. HR still looking for it, but now he has the better line, and he has, as Haas retired from the session, he has crashed, and there is a VSC out on track, ladies and gentlemen, and that was just in time for Jack to re-overtake HR, but that was a beautiful fight we saw there. The other flags are out, but it's not a safety car. We are very lucky. Also, Kevin is very lucky. We do not have a safety car, but if people are looking to guess their numbers, but Robin is also back for the fight for that podium place. Just Luis is just running away with it with 19 seconds compared to Jack. What will somebody dive? I think Robin will probably dive in the pit at some point. He's on 13 lap old hards. I don't think they will make it to the end. I don't know the tire around this track. I know nothing around this track. I can take a quick peek what strategy is suggested by a lot of drivers, but Robin gets a 10-second time for colliding with Blake. Oh, yeah, it is not good. The Dutchman colliding, I think it is with the Brit. So, yeah, Blake is also not happy about that, but Robin especially. And again, not a great restart for Robin. Locking the front tires, but we're gonna keep watching as HR is still looking for the over. He has way better grip than Jack, but Jack keeps defending it nicely as Blake is also maybe looking for an overtake on the Aston Martin, but the Aston Martin looking for an overtake on the Haas driver as he just pushing Jack to get on with it. But right now we're just gonna watch on board with the rear wing of the Haas driver, but down the inside is Jack gonna go for it. Blue HR, no, he will not. He will stay behind Jack, and still looking as we heard a car hitting the wall as you're still going bumper to bumper almost as a huge slide there for Jack. How has he managed to keep that car as Butcher has retired? As we're now at 6 retirements, and yeah, I expected this from Monaco, but I did not expect it in this way. But still, we have a great battle in our hands around Monte Carlo. You do not expect it a lot, but still, this track can provide some great results. Actually, Jack is trying to flick the car in, and there's nothing going to work as HR. It's a huge crash there, and HR, after having so much more grip and trying over and over again to overtake Jack. Jack had a huge slide, and Jack still, and Karma bites him in the dust, as Jack also bins it into the next braking zone and reset the track as now it's Blake versus Robin. It was deemed to go wrong at some point, and right now it did go wrong. We're now down to 12 men in this Monaco Grand Prix. No, this is the last track we're doing for today. As Kevin gets a foul at 113.3 as Kevin is not the Kian is the only driver to keep his nose clean and doesn't not have a time penalty. So respect to that, Kian, but he has to defend from Benny, who's also on the softer compound tire. So Robin's still behind as Jack. Oh, Jack also retired. Where has that happened? I'm trying to look where it happened. It looked like it happened right here as Jack has spun the car, and yeah, you can see the suspension is broken, and again, not the best race actually for a lot of the drivers. A lot of drivers going into it excitedly. A lot of them also voting for Monaco themselves, even though we had actually great other tracks for racing with probably a lot less DNFs. Still yellow sector 2, and I think Blake and Robin. What would have happened there? Robin retired. Another retiree. Both Hazards retired. And guys, come on, keep it clean. Because this is actually kind of upsetting me at this point. Because I'm still looking here. But yeah, remember, this is something that is still going on. Because we're now down to, I think this is 10 drivers in the Monaco Grand Prix. As Jack just casually typing away in the Discord chat. I'm still looking for you to check in a little bit, Jack. But you're too busy handling the chaos in the Discord. But yeah, it is a controversial race. Kevin doing nothing wrong at all, keeping his nose clean, apart from the 3 seconds he got from track limits. But everyone gets some track limits as Lewis is just cruising along with Blake behind. As the only fight we're having right now is Kian with Jacob as they're getting lapped by Kevin as we're down to 10 men in this Monaco GP. Yeah, but they're both ghosted, so I hope that ghost will go away as Kian is looking for that P4, and I'm gotta say, you gotta earn it, man. Maybe even a podium. He has a lot of work to do to get that podium, but nothing is impossible. And you gotta remember, if Kian gets that podium, Jack has to do an ice bath. So come on, Kian, you have a lot of work to do. So wish you the best of luck. As Jacob going deep in the corner. A lot of people went deep, and I'm just quickly going to, because I completely forgot the corner name and the number, and that is turn 5. Thank God, I do not know numbers. Yeah, I mean, sometimes when you commentate, you just forget stuff. I mean, happens, but Jacob does have front wing damage. So, yeah, but now Kian is in the hunt for that P3. Will be able to do it, maybe if he closes the gap of 27 seconds. So, I wish him the best of luck with that. So, Kian, you have my name and you have my pride. So, good luck, mate. You're missing a lot, Jack. You're missing a lot. But anyway, we're still looking for 60 laps of the Monaco GP, as we have a Ferrari pitting in for the medium tires, going on to use mediums, as we actually heard their car hitting the wall. But Benny still on looking for Kian, the Mexican driver, of course, looking maybe to get his first podium in the socials. I do not know if he had the first podium, so I will be just saying that. As we see there, Jacob doing a Felipe Massa and going straight on. And yeah, not the best race for both Red Bulls, for both Haas and a lot of other drivers. I will, yeah, and both Aston Martins. Yeah, but it is looking a great day for the blue collar teams. In front is a 1-3 for the blue collar. Yeah, this happens when you're doing commentary at 3 for 12, like when it's almost midnight. Just gonna talk about colors. Hey Dave, welcome in the stream. And Kian, you need that podium, mate. You have all my words, and you know what will happen with Jack. And I love the support that he gives me, of course. He gives me the support when I'm driving, and I give him the support as yeah, Jacob. I don't know what he's doing, but I will just keep it to that, and I will just actually not look at it. I will just keep my eyes on the drivers who are actually trying their best at this point. Of course, a mistake can happen, but yeah, a lot of controversy will probably come out, and Dave, I'm very sad, mate, you retired this early. I would have loved to see you drive, maybe even get a potential podium, but I will hopefully see you tomorrow. So I will not name the league, of course, because I think that's just not allowed, and I think I will not be promoting other leagues in this, of course, in this live stream. So anyway, Kian still looking maybe to get that first podium, but I want him to have that first podium. He said in the chat he's never had a podium before, and you would give it to the man. I mean, I had my fair moments as well, where a lot of people, when I was actually slow, yeah, believe it or not, I was slow at some point, especially in the early days of the F1 games. A lot of people, when I was racing, actually were really for me to get my first podium, and I actually did it pretty consistently. I got podiums, so that's actually pretty nice. Very lovely, Jack. Thank you, man, for the love. You give me the love, and I give you the love, man. Is how it works. As Kian, yeah, dropping back a little bit, but at the moment it's still Benny and Kian looking for that P4. But I think I don't know if this will be a career best for Kian, but I certainly hope he will have a smile on his face when he comes across the line, as we have 13 laps to go in this Monaco GP. As I'm low-key getting kind of thirsty, but I will not walk away from this from the race right now. I think it's a little bit rude. I mean, I did stack up on some snacks and on some drinks, but it's all empty because it is hot in my room at the moment. Love you, Jack. Anyway, how is it? Did you give the girl your massage already? I don't know if how that went. Yes, Humble, I am your commentator for today. I'm glad you realized after 28 laps and 80 minutes of qualifying, as Stu retired from the session actually, down into the Nouvelle Chicane, so probably a little hit on the inside wall and then suspension broke, so probably a Kimi Antonelli. And the Kimi Antonelli in 25, but Kevin is doing the Kimi Antonelli of 26. And you gotta respect it, man. The driving out this track, with, of course, no assist, of course, it's really difficult. I've tried it myself. It's not easy. Even though it was still time trial, I did spend a couple 30 minutes, I think, learning the track. I do know my braking points a little bit around the track, but it's really difficult to go fast around it, especially on these level of cars. you lock up so easily, you lose the race so easily. It's really difficult on street circuits like Monaco. On the previous 2 games, it was actually really easy to do this track. I even did this track a couple times in A, and I actually was pretty rapid around it. But yeah, with these cars, they're more of control cars, and you really have to really good under braking with these cars to be quick. I'm not the best on the brake, I will admit that. I'm really more of letting the car roll into the corners. But with this game, you just have to brake hard and just go with it. So that's why I'm also on tracks with a lot of fast corners and little braking zones. I'm really rapid. I mean, I think my quickest track at the moment is Imola. No worries, humble. Oh, nice, lovely. I had a great meal as well with my family, with my mother and father. My sister was actually working her shift at the amusement park near my town. So yeah. Oh, I hope, Dave. Listen, what you gotta do to deal with your mother is let her finish her rant and then tell her she's beautiful. Works all the time. Or just let her be and ignore her for the rest of the day, then she will also be happy. Because there's one thing you never have to do, and when your mother is cleaning, leave her alone. Don't talk with her, don't breathe near her. It's the safest way to survive your mother cleaning the house, and especially if she's cleaning your room. Be careful with that, guys. And I've experienced it, don't you worry. As Jacob retired from the session as well, and we're now down to 8 candidates. This is not something I would love to see actually, but yeah, but it still was entertaining. With Kevin dominating with 10 laps to go, with Kian, yeah, still in a steady P4. And if I want to give you precisely, humble. You don't help the family. I mean, you can help your father from time to time. But yeah, you do not want to help your mother with anything. But yeah, I had a lovely pasta tonight. It was actually pretty lovely with pulled chicken with it, with I think it was courgette in it as well. I've a little bit of eggplant in it as well. It was actually really lovely. Anyway, but yeah, the 5 we're still looking for is actually Dougie and Benny, finally for P5. I know how it is with the penalties. It looks like Dougie will get away with it, with the 3-second time penalty, but Benny still looking after he pitted on the fresh medium tires, maybe to get an overtake done. So we will definitely watch on board with the McLaren for a little bit. I'm just gonna hide that, so people will not know that there are 11 retirements, but oh, down the inside he goes actually. What a move though, but it wasn't valid. That's my main question. Dougie, I think, had to cut the track in order to stay afloat. This is almost Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton overtake we were seeing here, but Benny went for it, and he did send it like prime Daniel Ricciardo, and Dougie was nice enough to leave the space, or maybe he just was scared and pooped his pants a little bit and gave him space, but yeah, Dougie actually goes to the pit lane for his last pit stop. But now Kian is, I think, set for a P4 finish on the. As Lewis actually went for another medium set, so that was interesting. But I don't know if Kevin will continue on his hards. I mean, my mother is also in that phase, but she has a really lovely cookbook with a lot of healthy but tasty recipes. So Kevin goes into the 9 seconds. So Kevin, I'm ashamed of you, mate. 9 seconds. I get your starting number is 91, but come on, man. At least add another 1 to it. 91 seconds. Come on. I'm just only joking. Anyway, if we got 91 seconds, that would be actually impressive without getting disqualified. But anyway, Kevin doing a massively good job here in the streets of Monte Carlo. It's not easy around here. I've said many times before, especially at this time of night, because for me it's officially midnight. Hey! Well, my mother and father can actually cook pretty well. I might actually send that book over to your mother, Dave, so maybe she can cook up some great recipes. And yeah, tomorrow I have just chilling, go to the missus, and then come back home and Going to be driving some leagues and maybe even the social race if I'm here, of course, for WRC. So you could maybe watch me drive and bottle it in style, which of course I've done many times. Even though in my defense, I think like 5 of them were disconnects. So I think I don't even have 5 proper races here. So maybe even 3 or 4 races I disconnected. I mean, my history in this league was actually quite funny because I think I followed them WRC way back. I had seen a couple of TikToks, but I never joined them. When I saw like the social race actually being quite interesting, I was like, oh, this would be very fun, and I was right. So if you're interested also in joining, join via the website in yeah. I'm very yeah, I know some people have divorce plans, and I do my wishes for them because it does not fun for me. I have experienced a lot of friends also in that state. It's not fun. I'm not going to go into a full therapy session right here, but yeah, that's we have yeah. We have somebody who disconnected. I think that's the Ferrari. Yeah, it looked like it, and works now down to 7 drivers. Yeah. Reminds me a lot of other leagues I've commentated in sometimes, but yeah, as Luis actually, Luis, he has the fast lap, but he had it with a slide, with Cameron almost winning with 50 seconds. So that's an impressive drive for him. Made 0 mistakes, only time penalties. So yeah, of course, Dave. I'm also down to race, but it also has depends at one time what time I will be home, because I am going to the GFs. So I don't know. Wait, sometimes women are very weird because she said she wanted to hang out at her place, but knowing her, she probably will come over to my place. So yep, that's something I will really discuss with her real quick. Well, I'm yeah, you can add me. My EA is F1 underscore Sander. I will just quickly type it in the chat for you. But I don't know if I can add you mid race. I will significantly try to do it. I think it's the most fair to do it. As Sadiq goes into the pit lane, I think yes, I can. That's. Do I have as a? I don't see you right here. Let me refresh real quick. Yeah, there we go, mate. Welcome back to the lobby. Oh, my head. Need to plug in my. That did not sound good. I will quickly plug in my headset, so we'll be right back. If you're wondering what the crashing noise was, it was my fan and my beautiful Red Bull logo that emits light. Alright, it's back on my desk where it belongs. As Kevin pits and actually takes away a couple of his lead for fresh medium tires. So Kevin, come on, mate, you could have had a beautiful 40-second gap, but now you have to have a 30-second gap. Boring. Don't worry, Dave. I also was in that stage. You will probably find the right one, don't you worry. I mean, I was lucky. I mean, she just claimed me and I was her, so it went like that. Anyway, Kevin leading away with 19 seconds on fresh medium tires, probably looking maybe for a fast lap point. It's actually Blake is also on fresh soft rubbers. Kian, yeah, is still on the hards. Well, Benny is behind him on fresh mediums. They're 12 laps apart, so we have a lot of work to do. I know, yeah, but I think our eyes will just stay on the man who has led, I think, the whole Grand Prix, except for I think one corner where he got overtaken by Robin, and then Robin went to the wall shortly after. It was a lot of drama, as you can see at the left of your screen. 11 DNF's Blake gets a fast with 111.8 faster, I might say, than some people's qualifying laps, but that does not matter. Of course, the social races are just purely for fun. You can be competitive if you want, but it's mostly just for fun. Well, then you're doing something right if they. Anyway, as Lewis also goes into the pit lane for I think a fresh set of with a yellow flag, and that's Blake. Oh, Blake, what happened there? He is slowing down into the tunnel. I don't know what happened there. Is he out of fuel? What on earth happened? I think Blake is run out of fuel. And oh, Kevin! Oh no, Kevin! Oh, did Kevin? Oh, I think Kevin just binned it. What happened there? Did Kevin just hit the wall and retire? And I think Kian is going to get his first podium. Oh my goodness me. What on earth happened with Kevin? I'm actually going to DM him because I'm actually really interested what on earth happened there. And I think Kian will get his first podium in a very controversial Monaco Grand Prix. Oh my goodness. But I think this will be the biggest ball job I've ever seen as Luis takes the lead of the Monaco Grand Prix, and all he has to do is keep it clean for 3 laps, and he will have to win in his pocket after Kevin leading the way. But I think this is the most important part, and I think somebody in the chat will be doing the ice bucket challenge or an ice bath in honor of this man getting his first podium. And yeah, I don't know what happened to Kevin, and I feel really bad for him, I really do, but it will not be a Dutchman, I think, climbing on the top step of the podium at the moment. It will be the Williams driver. I am very apologies, I do not know what country he's from, but I do know Kian is looking for his first ever podium around the streets of Monte Carlo, a track where you do not expect anyone to get their first podium. And a lot of love in the chat for Kian, as we see again a yellow flag, and that's Blake. I don't know what Blake is doing, but either as Kevin has left the session, but as there, Kian is there, but I don't know what Blake is doing, but is he letting Kian pass? But he's back on the throttle at the moment. I thought he ran out of fuel, but I think he's just trying to make a little fun battle for us, which I do not mind. But what is Blake doing on the fresh soft rubber as we're going down the inside? And there goes Kian on the V-Cup driver, and Kian takes second place away. It is nearly 50 seconds in front to Luis, but I think the smile on Kian's face will be huge after this performance of him. And remember, ladies and gentlemen, he started last, I believe. Let me... So still fighting wheel to wheel, and there goes Blake around the outside, gets a track limit though, as Kian has started from back of the grid, from the second last row almost on this grid, and he is now looking for a podium place in MOR. And I hope I will quickly look at the penalties for you, but yeah, but Kian has a 3 second only. And Kian goes again past Blake, and if Blake is a legend, he will defend Benny for Kian. But I think, as we're looking right now, Luis will... Yeah, no wait, he has actually 1 more lap to go. My apologies, as we still have 2 more laps of racing to go, as Blake looking for the inside line, but Kian is looking to defend with all of his life as Blake down the inside. Guys, keep it clean. Oh, Kian, and he's still... Blake makes the move stick. This is a beautiful race. We're seeing a little bit of contact though. Benny trying to take way more speed through the hairpin, but Kian, of course, on the old hard tires, has to back out of that. But yeah, of course, Luis is still leading with almost a minute, so that is a great job for him. He's behind one of the I think that's one of the hours as Kian again overtakes him. And Kian goes actually deep. Oh, Kian! Kian, no! Oh, my goodness me. A 10-second time penalty. Oh, no. Oh, my goodness. The commentator curse strikes again. And I think if he's lucky, he can get that removed maybe. So he will get it off track. But right now, Luis is going to the final sector of the track. He has been a little lucky, you gotta admit that. But from P6 on the grid, he will win the Monaco Grand Prix in the Associated Team Champion. He wins the Monaco GP at midnight, and it is a solid drive for the Williams driver, and the hands are in the air for the Williams team. But we're still looking for Kian. But I think it is over now. 13 seconds. 7 seconds needs to be the gap between the drivers. So he has a lot of work to do, Kian. But on those old hard tires, but Benny's right behind the Blake cannot defend for Kian. But I think Kian, yeah, he's gonna lose his podium position, and I think JP will have a lot of relief in him, because he doesn't have to do the ice bath. But also a lot of people asking Blake to slow down, but Kian will come home for second place on track. But that incident between him and Blake will push him back down to P4. Maybe the unluckiest moment I've seen in league racing history. But he's still weaving. But he has he run out of fuel though? It doesn't look like it, but Kian will drop back. But Blake, the legend himself, makes it so Kian gets his podium. And this is the respect we love to see. As I think Blake got his podium, we'll ride on board with him. Is it P3? It's P3 on the steering wheel. And he did get his podium. Kian, the man of the night, in my opinion, the driver of the day, has avoided all the chaos except for the last laps. And Kian, well done, mate. You're maybe not the winner, but you're the winner in my heart. That second place was deserved. But maybe you can still get it if you can get the penalty room buff. Remember, you are third. But Blake, huge love to Blake. And I would love to see a respect TikTok made out of this. Mikey, please make it. Oh, my apologies. Anyway, as the champagne will be sprayed on the podium. And I think we have a lot of happy faces. But of course, the Mercedes driver being one of them. The Mexican being able to claim his very first podium in MOR and in WRC as it was back then. And JP Icepath will be done as driver of the day and cleanest driver. Of course, as the fireworks go off in the background. As these are your race results. We have Luis winning for P16, but Benny also from P12 to P2, and also the main man of the hour, P18 to P3. He did get unlucky with the time penalty, but he kept his nose clean. Kian will get his very first podium. Blake is the man of the hour with respect, and he gets also P4 with Dougie coming home in P5, and also Alec in P6 starting P13, and Ghost starting P7 for P19. But ladies and gentlemen, there was your Monaco Grand Prix. My name was Sander, and I would love to have you again for another stream, and maybe you can see me driving here as well, and maybe I could finally claim my very first win here. But I will wish you all a lovely day. Have a